Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The preliminary injunction hearing involving the state of Tennessee and the NCAA has concluded in Greenville. We now await a ruling. If the injunction is granted, NCAA NIL rules will freeze for the remainder of the case between Tennessee and the NCAA. 321 prospects have been invited to the NFL Scouting Combine at the end of the month in Indianapolis. 3 players from the University of Tennessee. They are Joe Milton, Jalen Wright, and cornerback Kamal Haddon. Michigan leading the way with 18 invites. Georgia had 11 players invited. Nashville Soccer Club has signed veteran defender Brett Kallman to the roster for the 2024 season. They'll play their final preseason friendly this Thursday against Memphis at Geodis Park. And the Nashville Predators homestand continues with the New Jersey Devils tonight. Preds coming off an OT win over the Coyotes on Saturday. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. College hoops, Vanderbilt at home tonight hosting Texas A&M in SEC play. Tip-off will be at 6 p.m. from Memorial Gym. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's going on, everybody? I almost said happy hump day. We're not there yet. It's only Tuesday. Monday's just barely in the rearview mirror. It snowed last night like crazy. It snowed like crazy. I did not see one flake of it. I had another migraine, so I was in bed. My wife said, hey, if you want to get up, you can look at the snow. I said, I'll have to take your word for it. Apparently, it was really getting with it.
Videos of
I'll
it.
quit calling you right before you go to bed. That way your migraine will go away.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Just yelling in your phone at you and
You
everything
could mail me some Nurtec or something. Magnesium.
I didn't even know it snowed until I woke up.
You woke up and thought, what in the world happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stunned. I was like, it snowed? And then I turned on the TV and then they were talking about, I get up at, 5 or whatever. And then, school closing. What? Where? And I was like, oh, my. So it snowed? I didn't have any clue. And people were talking about how big the flakes were and everything. Man, I wanted to see that. And I look out my door. It's just Chilly Willy. It's not any snow on the ground out there in Williamson anyway.
Well, apparently it got with it. So
it snowed by you?
It did. Yep. My neighbors, there was no snow in my yard. My neighbor's yard was completely like the tips of the grass, how that gets where it doesn't stick to the ground because the ground is warm, but it sticks to the top of the grass.
Yeah.
My neighbor's whole yard was white.
When you say neighbor, like right next
across
door,
the street.
across the street.
Yep.
Right across the street, they got snow and you did.
Well, I got it, I guess, but it didn't stick.
Oh.
I had a little
Some
bit
weird stuff going on.
I don't understand it either.
I had a little bit like outside. It was just like on like the top of my car and on the trash can this morning. But like the ground was completely clear, and that was in Murfreesboro.
Right. The ground was clear over there, but it was a little Chilly Willy.
Yeah, yesterday was an interesting day. Then today the sun's back out. So you just never welcome to Tennessee. If you're new here, if you're one of the 26 people or whatever that moved here
That's why you
yesterday,
had a
just
migraine.
welcome.
It knew the weather was going to change, and it's just like, all your allergens came back to roost ahead.
I don't know. How do you
In
and me
your
have
head.
allergy issues in February? What's there even to be allergic to right now?
Yeah, man.
How do we keep having this? We need allergens. We need
I
specialists
think I
to
got
answer these
allergies
questions.
when I moved here in
Well,
97.
that happens to a lot of people.
You guys need to go get that honey.
Yeah, everybody told us to eat honey.
And it just didn't work, man. I gotta.
I think you got to stick with it.
I
You gotta
know.
eat.
I'm a little impatient because my headache is just migraine, and it's like, no, go away, honey, help me.
Honey.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
honey.
both. Honey, give me some honey.
Yeah, honey, give me some. Honey.
I just wonder, how much of that are we supposed to eat? Is it just like a spoonful? Or are you just supposed to chug the bottle a little bit? Or?
No, it's supposed to be a tablespoon.
Okay. Is that the big one? That's
Yeah.
not the one you eat your cereal. Do you eat your cereal with the big spoon or the regular spoon?
Oh no, I do regular spoon.
Okay.
Cereal, I like the big spoon.
I knew he was going to say that.
I
It's
know.
always the
The biggest
120-pound person
guy.
who
Yeah, the
says
biggest
that.
guy.
Yes.
I don't on the
I
small spoon. I can't get enough cereal on it.
How much do you need? Your mouth is normal size.
So,
Like how
I
much
want a
cereal
lot
needs
of
to go in
cereal.
one particular...
Tweet that out. What do you use to eat your cereal? What size spoon? I'm sorry.
The little spoon or the big spoon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, your tablespoon or the big spoon.
You guys use the
Wait,
big
is the
fork?
tablespoon the big spoon and the teaspoon the small spoon?
Now you asking a
Nah.
tough question. You like I know.
Do you guys use the big fork or the small fork?
What do you mean, like the wooden one off the wall that people's grandmother had?
He's talking about there are small
They're like-
lengthwise.
The salad fork.
Right.
Do you like
Pretty
the bigger fork or the smaller fork?
No, man, I'm a full-size fork guy. I'm not forking around with the
Yeah,
forks.
I like the smaller fork because I can handle it. Like it's
What
easier
are
to
you
handle.
even doing?
I don't know.
We don't even know you.
I know.
You
No,
eat
we
cereal.
actually don't. He wants a big fork, right? What did you just say? I missed it.
He eats with the small fork.
The small fork I can maneuver around my plate easier.
It doesn't even make sense. It's not a job site. You're not trying to move around there. What?
Small fork, big spoon.
This
makes no sense.
What? None of this is on the script for the show today.
Yeah,
and here we are.
None of it ever is. That's how we're gonna tweet that. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but this
Okay.
is a major topic of discussion that we must solve here.
Fresh Catch 44.
Right.
And the F&M Bank check
Okay.
says the teaspoon is small.
The teaspoon, teaspoon is
Small.
Tony the stud on the phone right now wants to back me up.
Okay. Tony, get in
Tony
here at
the stud.
615-737-1045. How did we get here? And help Bananas out, I
We
guess.
never know how we got here.
Yeah, well. First off, the spoons are way too small. Here's the thing with the big spoon. All right, the reason you have to have a big spoon is because you get more milk with your cereal. That's my thing. Like a small spoon, you're not getting any milk. You're not getting any product. And I'm 35. Okay, I don't know how many of you guys actually still eat cereal like on a daily basis. I don't. Like if I eat cereal, it's maybe like a twice a year thing. I'm usually in a McDonald's drive-thru eating like sausage McMuffins or something like that.
Okay.
But when I do it, it's like I'm a kid, man. I want the biggest spoon available. I might not even get a silver spoon. I might get like your grandmother's wooden Betty Crocker spoon. Like I need something massive. I got to back up the big spoon, man, for sure. Great Super Bowl, great show.
Okay.
Oh,
People are all in on the.
I didn't. I don't use a big spoon for my cereal. You do, Mickey?
No, I use the regular size
regular-sized
spoon,
spoon, yeah,
and the big. Well, the regular fork, not the smaller fork. So there's
it's whatever's available. If all of them are dirty or in the dishwasher, or so I'll work whatever make it happen. But I prefer the regular size forks. But yeah, the big spoon. A little secret: when I was growing up, I was woodchuck, and woodchuck's wood,
right.
and that meant I ate a lot.
I remember this.
And remember, I was on a baby diet.
Yes.
So as I got older, some little birdie told me if you use a smaller spoon, you won't use as big of a scoop, and then you will eat less.
They told young Woodchuck this.
Yeah, so I always
How old
use
was
this-
Woodchuck when Woodchuck learned this?
I don't know. Maybe I was like 6, 7, 8 or so.
So you're literally getting like guilted into the small spoon at 6.
Exactly.
Was Woodchuck still large? Was Woodchuck still in husky
no.
jeans at that age? No. Okay.
I wasn't even big at any point in time except when I was a baby. There was never any other time.
The fact that you were on a
that's
baby
what she
diet.
said.
Yes.
I was only big when I was a baby.
Hashtag
All right.
baby diet.
The important sports question of the day is on our Twitter at Blaine and Mickey. What size spoon do you use to eat cereal? Big spoon or small spoon?
And I'm not a big cereal guy now, but I used to be. But I'll probably eat, cereal twice a month or something, just random on a weekend or something. And
Okay, I feel like a ding-dong. I eat it.
Gone to go work out and she's going to run a whole bunch of errands. And I'm like, okay, do I really feel like making, getting the skillet out and make some bacon and eggs? And I'm just go for this cereal and some milk. I haven't had some milk in a while. Let me get some milk. And I just go crazy on some Raisin Bran, Captain Crunch Berries, Cheerios. Mm-hmm. They just been sitting up there, and I'm like, well, I gotta eat it because some point, does cereal go bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so I gotta start eating it. That's what I'll do.
I probably eat cereal 5 days a week for breakfast. My wife would eat it for dinner. If we could not agree on what to eat for dinner, my wife would 10 out of 10 times would say, forget it then. I'm just having cereal. You guys can have what you want.
Well, I have some breakfast for dinner,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
cooked.
no, I would have that.
Yeah, eggs, bacon, or
I
something
have
like
that more probably for dinner than I do for breakfast.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. Yeah, I'm with that.
People are all in on this. Dustin Anderson says, I'm the same with the fork as Bananas. Danzo the Gnome says, I'm a small fork guy. Tighten up, Tony adds, size matters. Yeah.
So, because the fork is just too much fork to go into the mouth.
No, I just like it's just easier to maneuver around the plate.
Maneuver around the plate.
Yeah, not my mouth, the plate. Yeah.
Tony the
Yeah,
stats said
like a
put it
knife
on a
in the
poll.
other
It's
hand.
on a poll at Blaine and Mickey
Oh, man. The
on
fork
Twitter.
is not on the pole.
Big
You got
spoon
two
or
different
small
poles,
spoon?
right? The forks and the spoons.
I didn't do a fork one. I just did the
we gotta
spoon
do
one.
the
Do we need to
fork.
do the
Gotta
fork one too?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do a fork one.
Forks. Yeah.
So
who
it'd be,
would've thunk
I
it?
guess it's salad or regular. Or you could just use the phrase big or small. Many people are saying their grandparents had the small or had the large wooden spoons and fork on the wall. Did yours have that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. I was like, dang, I think I need to, just in case, could I use that? Like, no.
Honestly, man, if this radio thing doesn't work out, I think we need to open like a woodworking business and start selling those again.
The forks, though.
The big forks and the big spoons, the wooden ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we carve them.
That's a good
Like,
idea.
put different color varnishes on them. So if you wanted like something darker, something lighter on your wood colors.
We may be out of sense. I think the phone's going to start blowing up because they're going to say there's a whole bunch of companies doing that right now.
Oh, man. I hope we haven't given anybody else our idea. Let's get Coach T in here. He wants to congratulate Blaine on joining the big wooden spork and foon business. What's up,
my.
Coach
What's
T?
going on, Coach T?
First of all, Mick, you should have gave me the winner on Sunday for the Super Bowl, man. I could have used that more.
I did give it. When we called our shot, I said the Chiefs are going to win because I didn't want them to. You're welcome.
know, man,
I
I
definitely
know.
said 49ers.
Yeah, and I went against the grain. I followed Blaine. He went in the cave. I went right behind him, man. You know, that's how they
Oh,
go.
my.
What do you got
Hey,
for
Blaine,
Woodchuck over
I
there?
wanted to tell you, man, congratulations on the new speaker spotlight, man, with your Bishop and Steins Associates, man. That's real tight, man.
Appreciate
And the rodeo continues. And more importantly, man, fans really called in and hit me back. Mick, he did a hell of a job last night. Mick, he came on my Pull-Up podcast show, and we talked a little bit of everything, about his background and all that, man. It was really good. So anytime you want to come back, man, you're more than welcome, baby.
Just
I
remember,
appreciate it,
ask about the baby diet next time.
Yeah.
Big
They
part of
definitely
this
talk about
history.
the baby diet. We,
Yeah.
we didn't
But
talk
Mickey,
about St.
I'm with
Joseph's.
you,
You
Mick.
didn't know the St. Joseph stuff, though, did you?
Yeah, hey, I didn't know
Division
that
two.
was here. I know some of it, but I tell you one thing, I think Mickey's right. If I ain't got nothing to eat, it's some Frosted Flakes at night, man.
Frosted Flakes. That's a whole nother
Coach
question
T,
right
man.
there. What's your favorite cereal?
Okay, hey, Coach T, before we go, have you had the chocolate Frosted Flakes?
Oh yes. Oh, I love.
I have
Only thing, they are nice. But if you had the chocolate Rice Krispies, the Frosted Flakes is on another level, man.
Oh, I have not had that. Uh-oh.
Chocolate Frosted Flakes.
We have bananas who probably never cooks anyway. Have you had those?
I cook all the time. I work at Cracker
What are
Barrel.
you, Lucas?
you bring
Jr.?
home food. You're not cooking.
I cook
You're
the food.
reheating food.
I cook the food at work and then I eat it at home. Yes.
So
What was the question? What was my favorite cereal?
No, have you had chocolate Frosted Flakes?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
How old are
Frosted
you?
Flakes.
These are in your lifetime.
either.
Chocolate Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, never heard of it.
It's a
I
total
like
game changer.
regular Frosted Flakes.
Frosted
Tony,
Flakes.
Yeah,
Tony the Tiger is awesome.
Ooh. Great.
All right, here's my one other cereal question.
Dang, man, you have been killing us with the man. I feel like I need some cereal now.
Does anybody out there put sugar on cereal that's already sweet?
Oh no,
Yep.
I will do it.
You do?
What? Really?
Yeah.
I will do it on.
Frosted Flakes,
You put sugar.
Cheerios,
You still put more sugar on them.
Cheerios.
I will do it on regular Cheerios,
Okay.
but not
maybe
Honey Nut
it's-
Cheerios.
I don't know, man. I'll get watch this. I'll get the Splenda package out and just use one. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I would never even think to put Splenda on there. I'd have the
Look at
scooper
you.
and put the real stuff.
Oh no. We just use those for decoration. There is sugar. Watch this. There is sugar in there though.
Okay.
Here, watch this, and baking soda.
I think we have a box of baking soda in the refrigerator. Maybe
Yeah, somewhere, right?
it's been in there for years. Tony the Stud says yes. He puts sugar on his sugar cereal. When my dad, God rest his soul, when he ate cereal, he would eat the cereal that had sugar on it of some kind. He would put a whole scoop of sugar on it. He would pour half of it with regular milk, and he only drank like the full strength milk. And do you remember the milk in a can, pet milk, evaporated milk, which is super thick like motor oil?
Oh no, I didn't use that.
He would put half that.
Oh.
My dad ate like 8,000 calories a day and weighed 125 pounds.
He was trying to buff up.
I don't know. All he did was eat, man. He put it down.
Oh, no wonder you was like that then.
Yeah. So I got my metabolism. Plus, my mom was a food pusher. I had to have this metabolism to not die.
My mom was a food pusher.
Yeah.
She said, "Don't push none of that food away."
Yeah. Well, my mom would keep pushing food in front of you. Oh, you ate that plate full. I'm gonna get you another one.
Oh no, she didn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't do that.
No, it was survival, man.
I had to recondition myself when I became an adult. I was like, dang, why am I still eating? Because I was trained. I'd already trained myself to clean my plate, and I was like, Mom, but I'm full.
Keep
but
going.
I kept eating.
Keep shoveling.
Yeah.
I was same way. All right, we'll clean our plates of this segment. If you saw Bananas' tease that he typed out, there's a free agent that a bunch of y'all wanted, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Uh-oh.
We can get into that and
He
more.
was eating Frosted Flakes.
Probably so. Let's have our Frosted Flakes next right here on Blaine and Mickey.
Diabetes. Hey, Tennessee, it's Blaine Bishop here. With the unpredictable weather hitting us hard, it's crucial you ensure your home is equipped for many challenges. So don't let the next power outage catch you off guard like it did with me today. And Cool Ray Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical has your back. They're offering an incredible $1,500 off select at-home generators. And yes, you heard it right, $1,500 off. Don't gamble with your family's safety and act now and secure your peace of mind with one of Cool Ray's whole home generators. And if that's not enticing enough, take advantage of their $49 tune-up for your HVAC system. It's perfect for ensuring your home stays comfortable in any weather. And if you've been thinking about upgrading to a new HVAC system, they're offering free estimates on replacements. Their expert comfort consultants are ready to guide you toward the perfect solution for your home. And Cool Ray, keep Tennessee's cool, plumbing right, and lights bright. So visit coolray.com and take control of your home's comfort and safety. And as always, that's coolray.com.
Blade and Mickey 104.5 The Zone. Lots of
Another one bites the dust.
a lot of cereal talk. Cereal biting the dust. People's sugar levels apparently biting the dust too. They
Or
put
spoons too.
spoons, big spoons, wooden
I
spoons.
never use a big spoon for my cereal.
You think T. Higgins eats his cereal with a big spoon?
Yeah, because he's tall.
You think Big Jeff uses a regular size spoon?
No
Oh,
way.
no way.
No way.
What do Giants? What's the guy's name from Purdue? The Giant basketball.
Zach Edey?
Zach Edey. What do you think he eats with?
Oh, the 7'4"
Yes.
guy? Oh, he got to use a big spoon.
Like how big though? Because even the teaspoon is little. We learned that today. Even a tablespoon would look tiny.
Yeah,
Remember, I asked Javon Curse, like, "Hey
Oh.
man, where do you buy gloves?
Yeah.
What size spoon does the freak eat with?"
Oh, you should have asked that. Would have been hilarious.
I mean, it would have to
Like,
be.
what spoon do you use to eat your cereal?
We may have to
He would
follow
be like,
up with him
I've
on that.
never been
Tyler
asked
says
that.
Tyler said a garden shovel.
Garden shovel.
I didn't think about that. Like Big Jeff, just with a normal sized bowl of cereal.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that weren't available during my time, and they used to complain about it, the big guys. Like, they can't just buy off the rack anything. They
Yeah.
can't go in and buy shoes. Or, there's just like, oh, man, I wear, an 18, bro. What? Huh? They don't have 18s there. Oh, I wear a 16. That was a thing.
Yeah.
They were like, I can't just go into, the athletic store or Dick's and get, they won't have them.
Can't show up at Shoe Carnival and
And
get
they
an
do.
18.
They have a limited amount, and then they're like, we're out. What?
I would imagine those are more expensive too than the size 10s.
It's a different
you know?
world, man.
Yeah.
Then they be like, hey, man, can I get the exit row so I can have some leg space?
Yeah, luckily, Bananas has that problem because for people who wonder, like, okay, I don't know Bananas, I haven't really seen him. Think Chris Jones of the Chiefs. That's basically Bananas size. They're about the same size. I was trying to think of a comp for Bananas, and I came up with Chris Jones.
I was going to say Todd Pinkston. Not the version that he is today. He got him a Super Bowl ring, by the way. He was Andy Reid's one of his assistant coaches there.
Yeah, I like to tell people I didn't go to the NFL because I hurt my knee in high school.
Yeah.
And,
Is that what you used to say?
At a high school that didn't have a football team.
Your high school had a football team?
Mm.
Where'd you go?
Central Magnet. We were too small.
Oh, no, you guys are too smart.
Too small, too smart.
Yeah, that's that. You guys are real smart.
I always feel weird saying that because I feel like I'm bragging on myself. Like, I went to a smart high school.
Well,
but-
the facts are the fact. That doesn't mean you were actually smart, though.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe they
you
needed
were
a
smart enough
quota.
to get in.
Maybe they needed a quota to even up with what they already had.
when I was there, we were the number one high school in the state.
How
and
much did you
number
contribute
5
to that? Or were you like
Number
a
one in the
special
state of
teamer?
what?
Tennessee and number 5 in the country,
In what?
overall. Like academics.
Oh, okay. You was about to say athletics.
I almost said athletics. We were talking about
Academics. So let me ask you
Academics.
this. Were you like a special teamer academically, though, or were you contributing?
Ooh.
I was contributing. I had a 33 on my ACT.
Bananas. Woo, man.
in my
what
class-
are you doing here?
In my class, we had 6 people that had a 36, the perfect score.
So all his friends was like, "Oh man, he's so cool now." And then the other people were saying, "No, man, he's underachieving."
And then we had 55 valedictorians. I was one. I
What?
was one of them.
55.
55 valedictorians.
55 people.
Was this like everybody gets a participation
No, no,
medal?
55 people with a 4.0 GPA, and that met all the requirements for valedictorian in the state of Tennessee.
How many people graduated in this class? 56? I'd hate to be that other guy.
208.
208. Okay.
Oh, man.
Y'all had 208 people in your class. You didn't have football?
You could play football like at another school though, right, or something?
Yeah, they played at Eagleville.
See? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eagleville. That's way out the Eagleville. That's where Becky.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's the pride of Eagleville. That's not that far. Just head down Nolensville Road. Take you into Eagleville eventually.
Head down 65, then hit 840.
Yeah.
And then make a right on
Yeah.
one of those X's.
And it takes you to Eagleville. I've eaten at the Mexican restaurant there. It's good.
So
Eagleville.
Where is
Historic
Magnet
Eagleville.
located?
It is in the historic district of Murfreesboro. It's like right in the middle, like right over there by MTSU, like right off the
okay.
campus.
Okay, that's why. Okay, yeah, because Eagleville kind of matriculates into Murfreesboro a little bit. You can get to it pretty quick, right?
Yeah,
20
probably
minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
Rusty Shackelford said, I always knew I didn't like this kid.
Wow, that's harsh, man. Just because he's smart. Seriously, 33 on the ACT. I feel like you should be somewhere saving the world.
Yeah.
No, I like where I'm at.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
now with Blaine and Mickey talking some sports.
Yeah, man, we're
he's
changing lives.
underachieving, man. They're like, man, listen,
Talking about
this
cereal.
dude.
His parents are like, oh, man, you're working with
Oh,
these old
We thought we
knuckleheads.
were going to have a scientist here.
I think he almost was a scientist.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to be an engineer, and my
Yeah.
parents said, no, you don't. And I said, you're right.
Oh.
And here I am.
Because you were the borderline mathematician?
I was decent at math, and then I realized I hated it. So
Nah, you were a mathematician, man.
Yeah, keep us on track, man. That's a tough deal. Mathematician's not going to have any trouble figuring out what T. Higgins is going to make this year. Looks like he's going to get franchise tagged by the Bengals.
I knew it.
So I found a tweet from Janetti from Spot Track, $21 million. The Bengals have like 60 of cap space. You can't spread out. They're going to spend a third of their total cap space to franchise.
What'd you
him.
say their cap space was?
About 60. Bumbling Bengals. They got money to spend. $60 million. A third of that is his cap hit. Can't spread out the franchise tag. You got to eat it all in one big sitting like a spoonful of cereal with bananas. People kept talking about him, though, like he was just going to become available.
Remember, I never thought that was going to happen. I never did.
Did people just convince him that because they wanted him? Is that how that happened?
Of course, yeah. And then he's a local kid. You know, he's from Memphis. So, yeah, I get it. I never thought because, you know, what you do when you're sitting in the Bengals situation is you're buying yourself time. So you take the hit for the 1 year. He probably then will be a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Then you still have Chase on the books because he's 1 year behind him, right? So then you sign the more elite special player, Chase, next year probably during the season or right when the season ends. That way you don't have to tag him, and then now you have a whole bunch of cap space after you've tagged him because they're going to go one more push hopefully with this group. You got to try it. Got to see if Burrow can stay healthy with those two wideouts. You can sign some form of a Boyd or good solid route runner guy. You know they got running back, so yeah, that makes sense to me. Because they know they can't take Mr. Mahomes down without him. So, yeah, one more hurrah. Never know. They may untag him when they get to draft. I don't know.
Well, and I saw some Titans fans kind of arguing with each other on the internet. What would you trade for him?
Absolutely not. Don't do that. That is ding-dongery all the way around by the Titans because, first of all, you don't have a lot of collateral and draft picks. You want to go down to the future road, like 2026, and start training? No, you don't do that. No. That is not what I would be doing if I'm the GM here with the situation we're in. No.
They need
because
so
you
many
got to trade for him and pay him.
And pay him immediately.
No,
yes.
no. And then, by the way, I loved him. I watched him in high school, all of that. I still don't know if he's a number 1 or a 1B. I don't want to have that doubt in my question if I'm going to do something like that. No. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I go draft a receiver before I did that. You know. Never know, though. We haven't seen Rand and his crew, his staff make decisions. So maybe he thinks they can do something like that. But I would not do that.
That seems to make more sense if you had a team and you thought, man, we're one player away.
Exactly.
Let's just go get him. Let's trade for him. Our window is open.
Would that be like a Buffalo Bills maybe?
If they let
Diggs go?
If they let Diggs go, yes.
Yeah.
If not, well, what an interesting conundrum they're in. Because the Bills are like, dang, man, we got Josh Allen. Their defense has been good. Remember they went through that spell where they drafted all those D linemen and pass rushers, and they had all those guys to disrupt up front on defense. Then they had those two great safeties in the back, and you're like, if you guys remember, there was all this dust kicked up about the Bills. Why don't they just trade for Derrick Henry? All they're missing is an elite running back, right? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, the Bills are running back away, which seems like that you could find a serviceable running back or two if you're the Bills. I think a problem with them is obvious. They can't beat Patrick Mahomes.
Speaking on the Bills, this from Chad Forbes on Twitter. They're only edge rushers under contract this season, entering the 2024 season. Gregory Rousseau and Von Miller. Those are only two edge rushers on the Bills under contract next season.
Well, we know what they're going to be doing, at least with some of their money. Greg Rousseau, man, that's a giant dude. I don't know how much Von Miller's got left, but he sure has been productive for a long time.
Yeah, last year was a waste of season for him.
Sure was.
But he'll be healthy and he'll be driven, I'm sure, to get another contract somewhere else. So, yeah, free agency as well as drafting one. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah. I don't know, man. Josh Allen's window hasn't closed, but the Bills is getting real close to I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Diggs. That'll kind of tell you what they're thinking.
They're probably looking at it as, and I would too, if Allen was my quarterback, I think, okay, we have to be in the window as long as Allen is our quarterback. He takes so many big hits, though. And I had 2 or 3 people tell me who are around the Super Bowl or even when we were switching shows yesterday, Brent said, man, we saw Cam Newton. I can't believe how big that guy is. Like, even Cam Newton, as big as he is, eventually took so many hits, it just all added up. Man, Allen takes a lot of hits, and I think unnecessary hits. Where it's like, no, I'm not going to run out of bounds. I'll just hit this guy. I can probably get 2 more yards if I just put my head down.
That's a good comp, Cam Newton. And, I definitely was impressed with how big he was. That was, wow, in person. Yeesh.
Oh, remember they came to practice here? It was like, oh, my goodness.
He every bit of 6'5", 6'6". So, Josh Allen, same way. A little different passer, I would say. A little more, I'd probably say Allen's a little better. But I don't know. I think they need to start adding more pieces to around him so he won't be having to run so much and try to play bully ball, because it will start adding up down at towards the end. But I don't think he's close to that. But I don't know. We shall see. I don't know. Maybe Diggs is out there. He's looking for, just a good, modest deal where he can be on a team with other good players at the receiver position. You never know. Maybe the Titans would be in play. Think he would take 10, 12, opposite of D-Hop?
I think he would want.
Who's that?
Diggs, if he was available for free agency.
I think he would be like, what does A.J. Brown make? Yeah, that's where I want to start my discussions.
Yeah.
I also think he would look at the Titans and the target share that he would get. I don't know if it would make him happy, because that has been a big thing down at least the later stretch of last season. Was he was very frustrated with his target share. He wasn't getting the ball a lot.
And we're frozen.
I'll fix it.
Yeah, he's that diva for sure. He's a personality, but
do you mind that from a receiver?
Depending on where we are as a team, no, not really.
Yeah.
You just got to know how to manage him. It's not that big of a deal. Throw him the freaking ball. That's what you're here for. You making that money, throwing the ball. Now, what sometimes I think Diggs get confused is when he's getting double, he's actually getting the ball. They're just not throwing to him because he's taking 2 players.
Right.
So, but what happens is the media then critiques him as, you didn't impact the game, when they're not watching the game because they don't know what they're watching.
Right.
He impacted the game even though he didn't even catch the ball. He didn't get it on target. So he has to be comfortable in his own skin to say, hey, I did my job. Hey, they would double me and other guys stepped up and made plays. So that's, and I think he's starting to level down a little bit. And I think he's still really good. But this may be the opportunity where he could get more targets, because I think people may stop doubling him. Because they were doubling there because Gabriel was out. He was injured. He didn't play in the playoffs. So who can beat you? Diggs. So let's double him and let's see if some of these other guys, even though they may do well, they can't beat us by themselves. So I think he has issues with, just stat numbers. And I think A.J. Brown's the same way. You pay me big money and then you don't target me, well, then you're going to get critiqued as though whether they were doubling or not, they don't care. You got to be comfortable in what you're doing out there and comfortable with your coaching staff and feel secure in what you're accomplishing out there. And, hey, man, I had my impact. Sometimes it's going to come and catch us, sometimes not. I dare him to solo me. See, that's how you got to approach it. Don't be getting offended. Especially A.J. Brown, he's still in his prime.
Free agent receivers. So T. Higgins will not be one of them again. Multiple outlets reporting today that, and no surprise, the Bengals were going to franchise him. But again, they'll spend a third of their cap franchising him. Mike Evans? Like Mike Evans at this point in his career?
Nope.
OBJ? Free agent again?
Nope.
Let's see. Tyler Boyd, the other guy on the Bengals.
For the right price. For the right price. Solid route runner. Productive player.
He was really good in Jamar Chase's his rookie year. Like, he was a great 3. And then once Jamar Chase kind of took off, then he kind of stepped back a little bit.
Yeah, he's just a solid NFL, wide receiver. So, but for the right price. So, yeah. So, nothing extra there. 10 minutes, nope.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He gonna cost some. He's gonna cost some money.
The guy that burned the Titans, Noah Brown, the Texans guy. They had trouble stopping one game.
They did. Man, I would show some interest. I'd love to watch a lot more film on him, but he's probably a 10 million guy, right? Or more. These guys are getting so up there. It's just like,
Let's see what Spot Track
15?
says his value is.
I saw Spot Track said Henry is 10 million on the open market.
Oh no, I got that. That'll shock you.
It's more than that?
No.
10 million.
They show Spot Track, and these aren't always right. He's just trying his best to comp people based on other people with similar stats. 5.6 per year. They show his value as a 3-year, 16 and change deal.
I'll go all day for that.
For Noah Brown.
5 million?
Yep, 3 years, 5.6 million per year.
Noah Brown compared to.
You can say NWI?
Yep, NWI. Because, see, that tells you the value of a player like that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, they have a market value for NWI. Let's see what this is.
What, 7?
2.5.
See?
1 year, 2.5. That's what they're showing his market value deal is.
And somebody over there thought he was a 2.
What about Brandon Ayuk?
He is
he's up
not
there.
a free agent, but his.
What is he? I'm confused. Everybody,
It's the last year of his contract.
His what was that? His wife or
It was his girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, was saying that they were no longer gonna be there. So.
And one of his close friends also posted on their story that implying that he will no longer be playing in San Francisco.
So he's a free agent, right?
He is not.
He's restricted?
No, he's still under contract. This is another one of those where people just like him, so they're like, "Oh, let's just get him." Like it's fantasy football.
No. This is not other people. These are his girlfriend. So they obviously know something that we don't. Why are they acting like it's free? It's not a fan talking. These are people.
Oh, I know. Like fans are saying they want him. His I guess, longtime girlfriend and other people in his life are saying he's getting out of there, but he is under contract for 1 more year.
So you'd have to trade.
You have to trade for
in
him.
order to get him out.
I'm going to say this. I'm the GM of the Titans. I'm not trading for nobody.
Yeah.
Not this year. Not the way the situation. I'm trying to accumulate picks, not give them away.
I'd trade back a little bit.
Right. I would do that. I'm not trading. We are not one piece away or a player or 2 away. That's when you start doing stuff like that. No way.
He does have a 5th-year option available. Brandon Ayuk.
So he has a 5th-year option.
He's playing on his 5th year.
Right now?
Coming up.
No, next year.
Next year is his 5th
They
year.
picked up his option before this past
so
year.
he was a first-round pick, right?
Yes, he was a first-round pick.
What is it? So they must going to be demanding a trade.
It sounds like it.
Ooh. Well, yeah, because they're not going to pay 2 wide receivers.
Yep.
$20 million or more. They're not going to pay Debo 25 and him.
Yeah, they can't do that.
They got to do that. That's why he's
getting
saying that.
stuck.
Then. I knew there had to be a reason because he's like, oh, I'm getting paid. So either here or somewhere else. And I don't look like it's going to be here. Yeah, that's why they're saying that. Okay, now it makes sense because it didn't add up to me at first. Didn't understand that.
Well, and that goes back to the whole thing with T. Higgins, where people know they're going to pay Jamar Chase, not him. But like you said, they're going to try to run this back 1 more year with both of them.
Well, they can use the tag. T. Higgins' difference is he wasn't a first-round pick.
Yeah.
So they don't have the 5th-year option. So he will be available or would have been available. Now they tagged him, which I thought they would the whole time. There's no way. They're going to try to run it back, even if it costs them. Unless they tag him and then try to formulate trade somewhere. That could still possibly happen. I just don't think it'll be with the Titans.
Let's get to this next. Combine invite list is set. Let's switch from free agents to maybe draftable guys. How many people are going? How many people from Tennessee are going? We'll tell you about that next. Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. We've been up and down this highway, and we saw that this is coming. The NFL scouting combine. 321 prospects invited.
Oh.
In Blaine's hometown, Naptown. Blaine combined in his hometown once upon a time.
Oh, I was one of the 320. How many did you say?
321.
Ooh.
321.
Have they raised that number up? I don't know if mine might have been a little lower than that.
That seems right to me, but
Is
it may have been
okay.
it may have
I
been
don't know.
different in
I don't
those
know.
days. I mean, you only got finished playing about 5-6 years ago because you're young. Yeah. So it's,
You know, it's funny you brought that up because I'm going to ask Coach Mack about how do players get invited to the combine? Like, do pro coaches?
I had the same question.
You stinker.
No, I'll let you ask it. You said it loud first.
Yeah.
100%. How do you decide? I get it if you're the
You know
top-rated
why?
quarterback or something, but
Right. A guy like Blaine Bishop.
How does Blaine get
that's it.
invited?
That's exactly what I
Yeah.
wanted to go to because I was like, dang, I don't even know. I didn't even get invited until the season. Well, at least I wasn't notified, let's say that, until after the college season was over. And that's you and the Mac, there's a whole big old gap.
You just kept going from one thing to the other, though, right? You went to blue-gray game, and they're like, we're going down to the Senior Bowl. This is working out good.
No, I got invited to all of them before, but I didn't know until after the season was over. Like, I got all my invitations to the combine, the blue-gray, the Senior Bowl, and the combine all after the season. And it was just like, well, dang. I'm gonna have to miss. Watch this. We're at the high academic institution like Ball State. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to miss a month of school. They said, oh, well then you can't do this semester. I said, huh? I said, I have to. I'm graduating. They were like, you need to get permission from your coach. So I got permission, got it all signed, and then I came back like a month, and they were like, no. I said, oh, no.
They tried to give you the okie doke?
Oh, yeah. And I said, no, I'm going to give you the okie doke. Have you seen me run? I can shift and I can move real quick. And I said, no, I'm graduating this year, so I'll catch up in my class. They said, well, if you get the teachers to sign off. I said, oh, I'm going to get them signed off.
How many hours did you have? 12, 15?
Oh, no, it was a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't a big amount. But, I mean, still. I was like, no, I'm out. I am out.
Noted football factory, Ball State. Sorry, man. Can't graduate here. You're not prepared for the NFL.
No, I didn't say that. I was just like, hey, I missed school for a month because of, hey, I had to go do this. It was an excuse. This is an excuse right here.
And there was no correspondence courses in those days for people who wondered you couldn't take it online. Yeah, there was no online.
There was none of that.
No.
Mm-mm. No, I got my degree, yeah. My BS. Hey, man, I had to keep my high honors, man. It was really in jeopardy there, man, with my honor roll.
You made it happen. Although you were in the library when you got drafted. I know you told me that story.
Yeah. I had my 3 people, me and my 2 roommates in our apartment. Then when the 5th round passed, I was like, hey, man, I think we need to make sure I got past this class because it don't look like I'm getting drafted. I said, there's some dudes going ahead of me I played with in some of these bowl games. And I was like, hey, man, that guy was good, but he wasn't better than me. Yeah, so I went to the library. So I said, I better study for this test because it don't look like this is happening.
Do you remember how you did on it?
Oh, I got an A.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, I had to get an A.
You getting ready to take over that insurance business in South Central Indiana.
Oh, that's one thing I had secured. Yeah. No, it was in Richmond.
Yeah.
Richmond State Farm Insurance. I had my job already lined up.
Amish country. We looked it up that day, remember?
And I had never been to Richmond, Indiana, and I still haven't.
You'd be insurance and buggies. Joe Milton and Jalen Wright and Kamal Haddon going from the University of Tennessee.
Oh, 3 guys?
3 guys. Didn't Georgia have like 11?
Georgia had 11. Michigan had 18.
Hey, this is better than 0. How many did they have last year? I remember they had the 2 tackles off the top of my head. Probably some receivers. They had Hyatt. No, that wasn't. Yeah, that was Hyatt.
Yeah, they had Hyatt, Tillman, Hooker.
Okay, it has 5.
Oh, I think.
Did they have
Is there
any
a D
defensive
lineman?
guy?
Yeah.
I always got to have a D lineman, right?
Yeah, because they always have a D lineman.
Oh, no, they had an O lineman, Mays.
Yeah. Bananas is typing
6.
furiously, and he's trying to figure this out.
Oh, I can't believe you can't rumble these off the top of your
You were covering this for the
spoon
campus
eating,
radio station.
small
I
spoon
know.
eating.
You big cereal eater.
Okay, so they had Hendon Hooker,
Yeah.
Just tell us the number.
obviously.
He's reading
I gotta
in
go
real
count.
time is what he's doing.
I got to go count them in real time.
Oh my! You're really
Cedric
questioning your
Tillman,
central
Jalen
magnet.
Listen,
It's
degree.
33 on the ACT
I'm reading,
here.
I'm reading really fast.
Yeah.
That's really what the ACT is.
I am really doubting your
Darnell
curriculum.
Wright, Byron Young,
Okay.
We have to now count. I already at 7. So
I've
did
already
we
lost
surpass
count.
that number?
Jeremy Banks,
Oh, so that's 8.
Oh.
That's 8 or 9. Both the tackles. Mays, Cooker, Hyatt, Tillman.
and Paxton Brooks, the punter.
Oh, I did not have him. Oh, so they might have had 10.
So that's one.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. I'll get you a number in a minute.
Yeah. Both the receivers, both the tackles, that's 4. Young, Banks, that's 6.
Man, Banks isn't even on a team right now.
Hooker.
There was only one offensive lineman. It was
Oh,
just
only one
Darnell
of them
Wright.
made it? Okay.
Yeah. So Mays was the year before.
Oh, okay. My bad. All right, so we're at 6.
So 2 wide receivers,
Yeah.
a quarterback, a punter, a linebacker, offensive lineman, and a defensive line. That's 7.
And the quarterback.
I already got the quarterback
Oh,
in there.
okay.
So 7.
7. Okay. Then they go to 3.
All right. We're up against this break.
It took us forever there.
It did.
Magnet.
Us reading stuff. Okay.
Man, I'm really questioning it.
Well, it's 3 this
I'll
year.
bring my diploma in
A
tomorrow.
321. Yeah, okay.
I'm bringing mine, too.
I don't know
A
where
picture.
mine is.
I have no idea where it's at.
What's the college football playoff worth? It is an astounding amount. And there's some court action with Tennessee. There's an update on that. And these things may start corresponding with each other because when you hear what the college football playoff is worth, you will understand that your friends playing big-time college football are probably about to get some big-time money from this money.
My jaw dropped.
Yeah, yours will too. That's next.
Diabetes.
Dropping jaws.
Did you know Eurofix has a very different business philosophy? They staff all their locations with more staff than the average auto repair shop, just so they can be ready for when your emergency pops up out of nowhere. Have you ever noticed how hard it can be to get a right now appointment for vehicle repair? Well, some dealers can be more than 2 weeks out just to get a freaking appointment, but not Eurofix. Eurofix has been offering quality repairs that beat the dealer without the dealer pricing since 1999. Plus a 3-year nationwide warranty and a staff to fix your car right away. And I mean right now. So if you're tired of waiting forever to get your car into the shop, then call Eurofix. And owner Aaron Stokes says, we will never be too busy for our customers. We're here to take their pain away, and we mean now. And Eurofix repairs all European cars. And Eurofix says yes to speedy repair when others can't or won't. And family owned for 24 years. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX. Or you can just visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. But always tell them Blaine said, Hey, this is Blaine Bishop, and I'm excited to tell you about Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, or as you may know them as TOA. And TOA has 29 locations, over 100 orthopedic physicians throughout Middle and East Tennessee to take care of all your musculoskeletal needs. In addition to their orthopedic clinics and urgent care facilities, TOA offers physical therapy, hand therapy, and sports performance training for teams and individuals at their sports performance centers. And as a former professional athlete, I know how important access to expert orthopedic care is. Whether you're an athlete, active adult, or just looking to get back to living your best life, you can visit TOA online at TOA.com. That's TOA.com. Or you can call them at 1-855-NEED-TOA. That's 1-855-NEED-TOA.
Good afternoon. I'm Joseph Bonanno. The Tennessee Titans will be introducing their new offensive coordinator, Nick Holtz, and new defensive coordinator, Denard Wilson, in a press conference with head coach Brian Callahan tomorrow at 12:30 Central Time at St. Thomas Sports Park. We will carry the press conference right here on The Zone. Sorry, Titans fans, if you wanted T. Higgins in two-tone blue next year, it's not going to happen in 2024, as The Athletic is reporting that the Cincinnati Bengals are expected to franchise tag the star wide receiver to prevent Higgins from hitting free agency. And you want to talk about money bags? ESPN and the college football playoffs are in agreement on a 6-year, $7.8 billion, that's right, billion-dollar rights extension that will make the network the home of the 12-team tournament through the 2031-32 season. The deal is contingent on CFP leaders finalizing details of the expanded format. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. What's up, everybody? Blaine and Mickey, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. All right. We solved the world's problems in the first half of the show. If you missed any of that, remember, wherever you consume all your favorite podcasts, you can consume Blaine and Mickey. Rate, review, subscribe. Also, if you missed the show because you were doing something, just get the Zone app on your phone.
Yeah.
And then just put your earbuds in and then just don't ever not listen.
Yeah, we'll solve, whether you're using a teaspoon or a regular size spoon or a big fork or a salad fork.
We found out today that Bananas eats with a big spoon and a small fork. So if you ever see him in a restaurant eating and you think, what is up with this nut? That's Bananas.
That was the reason why behind the name Bananas.
He is straight bananas. So is this. ESPN and college football, this is via On3 Sports. I think I think multiple people are reporting this, right? Bananas. ESPN and college football playoff reach. 6-year contract for the expanded playoff. 6 years. What do y'all think that's worth? 6 years of 12-team football playoff.
I can tell you
Probably
what
about the salary that Bananas makes.
I wish.
It's actually slightly less, but not much.
Just a little bit.
Yep. $7.8 billion.
Ooh, with a B?
Billion with a B.
$7.8
Ooh, wow.
billion.
Oh, man. That gave me chills through my whole body. I know, me and Mickey, I'm going to speak for you, Mickey. We can't count that high. But, Bananas, on the other hand, Central Magnet.
You could give every person in the world $1 with that deal.
And none of us are going to get $1 from it. Just in case you're wondering, money will be hoarded amongst college football teams. The network will host the 12-team playoff through the 2032 season, 2031-32 season, according to the report. Full contract still has yet to be completed, though. So,
but they leaked that out there.
But they leaked out the amount because of the implosion of the Pac-12. I guess
they're waiting on finalizing the details of the expanded format. And since the Pac-12's no longer a conference,
it's a Big Four now.
Yeah, they got to figure out how they're gonna work that in. So 'cause I think when they had originally done it, they had originally planned on the Power 5, not the Power 4.
Oh, so that means now they get more money individually in schools, or no?
Depends what they do with the Pac-12.
Oh, man.
Nick says in
Tough
tomorrow's
problems
news, ESPN will lay off more people to pay for this. Yeah.
Oh, my. Yep, ESPN. They're getting her done.
So this comes on the heels of no ruling today after the hearing for the injunction on NIL rules between Virginia and Tennessee and a court here in Tennessee. But the district judge said he will rule in short order on a preliminary injunction requested by Tennessee and Virginia to stop the NCAA from enforcing its rules governing name, image, and likeness compensation for athletes. He denied the state's request for a temporary restraining order last week, but he also wrote the states are likely to succeed on the merits of their claim under the Sherman Antitrust Act, which is like well over 100 years old. But so NIL could be just about to die in front of all of us, any kind of rules.
Any kind of rules for NIL.
Yep. No, it will grow and expand before our eyes. But here's the thing. If you are a player, especially at one of these schools, Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, somebody that always makes it, they're going to get together and say, it's more than $1 billion a year. We are getting some of this. We are getting some of this billion each year. Plus, it's $7 billion for 6 years, almost 8.
Well, that's pretty obvious. You know what I'm curious about? Why haven't other schools tagged onto this lawsuit?
Do you think they're waiting to see what happens in this first initial round, and then if the NCAA gets ruled against, other schools are going to be like, all right, let's go? Or do you think?
Well, what is the strategy behind that? Just to wait. If you come together in force as a group, you look even bigger, more powerful, and supportive of one another.
I just thinking from that.
Interesting.
Thinking from that perspective is that maybe they're if Tennessee and Virginia, if they lose, then any schools that are associated, or any states or schools that are associated with the lawsuit are probably going to get, I don't want to say a revenge, but maybe looked into by the NCAA since their power had then been enforced, and they don't want that mole peeking around. Just in the case, it doesn't sound like Tennessee and Virginia are going to lose. I think Adam Sparks tweeted that one of the most telling parts of the hearing today was when the judge asked the NCAA attorney to distinguish between recruits negotiating NIL offers and recruits engaging in conversations with collectives. And the NCAA attorney fumbled and couldn't really explain it. And that kind of was a boost for the Tennessee-Virginia side. So it doesn't seem like they're going to lose, but maybe schools are they're hesitant that just in case they don't want to get investigated.
Maybe.
Just
Or they
willing
just
to
say
let
that ain't our business, and we'll just reap the
Yeah.
rewards
100%.
off of them and spend no money.
Yep.
Zero money.
Yep.
So that's what I was expecting to hear.
I didn't even think about the money
Yeah.
part because most of the schools
Yeah,
have
'cause
enough
this is
money.
good. It's
To,
good.
Billable hours.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a lot now. So yeah, I just found it interesting that man, you would think some other schools would have, especially from the SEC perspective, but no, we'll let you fight that battle and help us out.
Here's the other thing that I think has to happen at some point, and I'm not talking about from the bowl itself. I think everybody that plays in a bowl game at some point will get some kind of money from the TV contract. Because, like, if you play in the GoDaddy Bowl, the GoDaddy Bowl doesn't have any money. You know, there's not that many people there, but they have TV money. I think at some point, players will probably even get a piece of, like, if Ball State plays Arkansas State in the, what's the bowl in Montgomery? The Camellia Bowl, that everybody will at least get a stipend of the TV money. I think it's all coming, man. But when you see a figure this big for the playoff, goodness gracious.
I mean, $7.8 billion. That is a lot of money for a TV contract. There's just 6 years. That's over $1 billion a year.
Well, we always talk about the NFL being billions of dollar league. So's the NCAA now, football. And what does the basketball tournament make? It prints money.
How does that affect that? Not the actual, the actual money, but how it's perceived on what basketball is in college sports.
Mm-hmm.
Then do they go down this route and rabbit hole, which they of all sports, basketball was the one paying these dudes and giving them shoe deals all over the place from the jump. Will that change, and will they be run by the NCAA? Or I mean, this is it's really interesting. Once they start playing the football players, if that gets to that, then I think all bets are off. Basketball is going to be like, nope, they're going to have their hand out.
And I think we're about to see a bigger push again. I was reading Ross Dellinger.
What do you say?
Maybe about to be a big push again to expand the NCAA basketball tournament, which I don't want it expanded. I think it's good the way it is. But like,
what are the pros and cons to this? Why do they want to do that?
more money.
So
Okay.
It'd just be more games to show, more money. So instead of 60, how many teams make it now? 68 with the play-in game.
tournament, yeah,
Yeah.
68.
They may try to double it.
What is their contract up? For TV contract?
I don't know when the contract's up, but there's a whole thing. Dellinger said the Big Four athletic directors or Big Four commissioners have started to get together to pass around, like, what's the next round of things that needs to happen, and one of them is expand the basketball tournament.
No, they passed the pot around.
Yeah. They sure will.
It looks like they are signed. So CBS and Turner Sports are signed for the March Madness tournament through 2032.
Oh, yeah. They'd gladly tear that up for whatever's new if it gets doubled in size or whatever. I don't like that. I like the way it is.
Yeah.
And my team never gets in, but be better. Play better.
So I did a little number crunching. So $7.8 million for 6 years. That's 1.3 billion a year.
That's that 33
That is
ACT mathing right there.
That's $180 million a game if there's a 12-game playoffs. A game. $180 million a game.
And how much they going to be guaranteeing to the players?
Right now, zero.
Yeah, right now, nothing.
Right now, absolutely nothing. The guys who do the labor for it, the unpaid labor.
This is about to come real fast. Hey, man, if the right people start talking to these schools and these players,
Yep.
what if college football decided, you know what? The leadership groups of all 12 teams, we're not going to show. What the freak would happen?
Well, 2 of them are already starting to talk.
See? That
Yeah.
Get a couple more in there, and you got yourself a...
Oh, man, we go, and they will be nuts and bolts and, oh, my gosh. Somebody will be hot if they don't play them games. And that's the leverage they have.
They got the leverage for sure. Sorry, man.
But you got to convince 100 dudes that's
Right.
on a team to do that. which is really hard.
Taylor-
As you a senior, like, hey man, I got to play in this game.
Taylor says in the chat, 150 mil plus to watch FSU get waxed by Georgia next year.
Yo,
All right, before we get to Coach Mack, Joe has been holding, Blaine. He has a question for Coach Mack, and we'll just go ahead and get the question before we have the Mack attack. What's up, Joe?
Came on with Coach Mack.
Hey, guys. Just to let you know, I'm on the road 5 days a week. You guys travel with me every day.
Oh, thank you.
That's sweet. That's who we talking to.
Yeah. The Bengals' new coaches that are coming in, they used to run a zone blocking scheme, and they changed their blocking scheme to a gap power scheme.
Yeah, Callahan talked about that a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So ask Coach Mack, when they look at drafting a tackle, do they factor that in, or is that not a factor at all? Okay?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, man. Be safe out there driving, Joe. Thank you.
Zone versus what?
Gap.
Gap. Okay.
Shopping at the Gap for boxer shorts. All right. We'll zone and gap with Coach Mack next on Blaine and Mickey.
Life is busy. We could all use some extra time in our day, which is exactly why Two Rivers Ford offers mobile service. We'll bring the service to your driveway at no additional charge. Oil changes, brakes, batteries, the certified technicians at Two Rivers will perform basic maintenance on your vehicle wherever you are, so you'll have more time for moments like this. Schedule your mobile service appointment by scanning the QR code or calling Two Rivers Ford today.
Blaine and Mickey, 1045 The Zone. You hear that music. It only means one thing, the weekly appearance. One Dave McGinnis, Coach Mack, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, Middle Tennessee's most trusted local Ford dealership for 40 years. Coach Mack, welcome in, man.
Hey, guys. How we doing today? You guys survived your Super Bowl parties?
Oh, it was low-key on our end. Were you doing Coach Mack stuff at various Super Bowl events?
Yeah, it was low-key on my part.
that was a good question. I mean, that's the first thing I think of. Now, you said that. Do you like watching it kind of with just a couple people? You had a small party. You had a big party. How do you watch the games, Coach Mack?
Well, I get invited to quite a few places to watch it, and then some even to talk about the game as it's going on. So, you know what though, I'm a people person. I like being around people, but I also, when something's going on, I like to be able to have the ability to say, "Everybody, be quiet a minute. I want to watch this."
Oh, yes, sir.
Coach Mack.
Before we even get started with any of this, I know Steve McMichael is a friend of yours and a former player. And to see him earn his spot in Canton, and I know he's going through a lot. For people who don't know, he has ALS. To know that he knows that he got in, Coach, I mean, that means a lot to a whole lot of people who are football fans, but can't imagine what it means to people like you who actually know that man.
Yeah, and if you saw the video, I mean, his whole room was full of people there.
Yeah.
You know, all the greats. George McCaskey, the president of the Bears, was there when he was announced. I mean, it's a hugely emotional thing for all of us that were there during those years. That makes 8 people of those mid '80s of those teams I was on that are now in the Hall of Fame.
Man.
6 players and 2 coaches. It was, as I said, that was Camelot back then. But for Steve to get in, it meant a whole lot to a lot of us because, first of all, he was very, very deserving. It was very hard because of all the greatness on that team defensively. And of course, Dan Hampton and Richard Dent, took up a whole lot of the headlines. But Steve McMichael, you ask anybody that played, you ask Mike Singletary that played behind that triangle of he and William Perry and Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael was really the straw that stirred the drink, and I just couldn't be happier. For what he's going through, it's a very emotional time for everybody involved. But I'm just so pleased for he and for his family that he was awarded that honor while he's still with us.
Yes, sir, for sure. Coach Mack joining us right here on Blaine and Mickey, giving us the Mack Attack.
Well, Coach, since we were talking about the Hall of Fame, I just thought about this. They don't have assistant coaches Hall of Fame, or do they get award or something to that effect, or is there's nothing at all for assistant coaches OCs, DCs, and stuff like that?
No, they started an Assistant Coach of the Year award a few years back when they started the whole honors thing that they have, in conjunction with the Super Bowl. Jim Schwartz was Assistant Coach of the Year this year.
Right. I saw that's what made me kind of think of that.
But for the Hall of Fame, no. I mean, and they for years that they've talked about doing it, but it never has passed. Now, I think sometimes some of the assistant coaches can get put into the group of contributors, because they've got a new group that they put like that. But as just to say a section as a bust for assistant coaches, no, they do not have it.
Well, Coach, we're on with Coach Mack, giving us the Mack Attack from Titans Radio. I guess give us your overall thoughts on the Super Bowl. I guess it went as you thought it would. I'm assuming with Mahomes having the ball last year, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, but first of all, Blaine, I really thought that both defenses played really well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought this was a well played because both defenses and the defensive coordinators were up against huge challenges from both of these offenses. We talked about it on your show here, heading into the Super Bowl about how much different types of motion and different looks and personnel looks, that you were going to have to deal with as a defensive signal caller. And, as players, I mean, I thought that both defenses played very, very well. And the thing, again, the thing that ended up getting the winning touchdown was the same type of scheme that Andy used last year against the Eagles twice, that, Jonathan Gannon twice down there on the low red zone. Is that you can call it whatever you want to? Is the return motion? It's a 9-ball stack return motion. The sting motion we used to call it. Any of that stuff. We talked about the concept, and of course this isn't something I invented, but it's something that I learned way back against the West Coast offense when Bill Walsh first brought that in the league. Is with all that type of motion, you better learn how to surround it with your adjustments rather than chase it. You start chasing that motion, sooner or later, it's going to catch you. It caught the Eagles last year, and it ended up catching the 49ers this year. Exact same thing. That return sting motion. You got to be ready for it, especially in the low red zone, especially against Andy Reid.
No doubt about it. When I watched the game, Coach, it really made me kind of think, like, which team, I guess, both teams, San Francisco and Kansas City, the success of both of those teams getting to this point. But I was trying to figure out, is it more their scheme of what they run on offense and defense, or is it more about their players on offense and defense?
It's always players. It's always players. You look at the rosters of both of those, and I really thought, I think I said this on you guys' show last week, I thought the 53-man roster, man-to-man, up and down, favored the 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one mitigating factor is you've got a quarterback that is transcending everybody right now in Mahomes. And, I mean, we just have to admit it. I mean, he's putting himself into rarefied air now with what he's been able to do, and this year especially, with not an elite receiving crew. I mean, let's just be honest about it. But what they did do is they invested pretty heavily in their defense. And then, Spags, I thought both defensive coordinators did a tremendous job, but it's still players. You're not ever going to do it. I mean, if you say, give me the best scheme in the world or give me the best players in the world, give me the dudes every time.
Well, naturally, I'm always thinking in the Titans mindset, I guess, real quick here. And that is, which team do you think favors or looks like where the Titans are trying to go with Amy's vision on how she wants the team to be? Or is it?
Well, I think both of these teams draft very well and they develop their players. I think that's number one. And then both of them have quarterbacks that they have settled on, both different ways. Andy Reid went about it completely different when he had a number one draft pick and Alex Smith there starting, traded up to get Mahomes when everybody thought he was nuts, and then let him sit and soak for a year. And then, what Kyle Shanahan did, and they had a guy that was the last pick in the draft, but they saw that he could fit what they were doing, and they played him over two other guys that they paid a lot more money to, but they settled on their quarterback and then surrounded them with players. And so that to me is and when they both started out. Now we know that Mahomes now is on a huge money deal. I think that huge money of his starts to kick in, really next year. But they both started with quarterbacks on their rookie deals that they settled on to be their dudes, and then surrounded them with players.
Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack from Titans Radio.
Coach, anybody ever bump into you on the sidelines where you were coaching?
Anybody ever bump into me?
Yeah, like come at you and mad and upset,
like Kelsey
bumped into Andy Reid.
I've had so many players mad at me on the sideline. I mean, look, it's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. But you know why they're mad? Because it's a competitive environment down there. And you know what? He wasn't mad at Andy. He was mad at the fact that Andy didn't have him in the game, and he said, I can do that. Yeah. I've had a lot of players tell me that. A lot of Hall of Fame players grab me and say, hey, I told you the Lawrence Taylor story. You're at the Pro Bowl. Hey, you need this extra $5,000? I'm going in.
Yeah, over Mike Kofor, right? He said, sorry, man. Yeah. I'm about to go get us this money.
Yeah, I'm going in.
We had a caller who called in from Bowling Green. He said, would you guys please ask Coach Mack this, since he's our evaluator. He's the draft guru and everything. He said, tackles who play in different schemes, just the way you ask it, that maybe a guy who plays in a gap scheme versus a zone scheme, when you're scouting a tackle for your team for draft, how much does their scheme that they played in play into your evaluation of them?
Well, first of all, let's get something clarified. I'm not a guru, number one, but I have watched a lot of tape in my time. Look, the tackles, the thing that's really important right now with tackles when you're looking at them, let's start with stances. How many of them have played in two-point stance? Because a lot of guys are still in two-point stance all the time. Looking to the sideline, getting the plays. How many guys have played in a three-point stance? Now, whether you're going to run a gap scheme or whether you're going to run an outside zone scheme, they've got to be in a three-point stance to be able to come off. Gap scheme or zone scheme for your tackles on the edge. Basically, in a zone scheme, it depends on whether you're the front side tackle or the backside tackle. In a zone scheme, a backside tackle has got to be able to have really good feet because that's going to be the cutoff block, and normally it's the cutoff block moving up to the second level. The front side tackle is the money block. That's the guy that's got to hold the single block to let the zone get stretched where the center and the guard can be able to combo up. But what you're looking for, as far as you're looking for traits of tackles, you're looking for guys that have length, because you need length to do both of those things. You're looking for the 2 and the 3-point stance. You're looking at guys that are knee benders, not waist benders. That's extremely, extremely important. And then you're looking for dudes that are violent. So all of that stuff works. Now, and nobody anymore is running just exclusively gap scheme, which is down, around, either pulling guards or tackles, it doesn't matter, or the zone scheme where you're running inside, outside zone where you're comboing up, working to a second level, working in conjunction with the guy, next to you. So, but the first thing you're looking for with tackles, for Joe's question, is the traits that you have to have for all of them.
Hanging out with Coach Mack, just getting all the information here. The Mack attack on Blaine and Mickey, of course, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford.
Well, Coach, naturally I had a more of a personal question, and that is, we're talking about the combine. It's coming up here.
Yeah.
I know you're prepping all for that, but how do players get actually invited to the combine? I never know how that process works. Are coaches requesting certain guys? How does that work?
Well, coaches have nothing to do with it,
Okay.
first of all, because coaches don't even start looking at these players until the season's over.
Okay.
Every team has a combine scout. Every team has a scout that they hire that then goes with the combine. That is an area scout for the combine, and then the combine has their own personnel meetings. They have their own quarterly personnel meetings, and they have a national meeting. That combine scout will come back and give you, because everybody shares that information. Everybody's involved. All 32 teams are involved in the combine. So they come back, they share that information, and then once the coaches start looking, they may say, hey, and they can call the national combine and say, we would really like to look at this player. But most of the coaches get that from, say you go to the Senior Bowl or you go to the East-West game, you go to the Shrine game, and all of a sudden somebody from a smaller school is kind of showing up there, then you know who's going to be invited because, now they have to wait to invite to find out who's declaring, especially now with the NIL, especially now, with the COVID year, especially now with the juniors now coming out. The combine as a group has to wait to find out who's all declared. But I will to let you know that it's an entry level job, and a lot of scouts have started cutting their teeth being combine scouts for their clubs.
Oh, wow. Dang, I didn't know that. Oh, good information there. Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack. I guess from your Senior Bowl visit, we never really, at least I didn't, ask about defensive pass rushers. Any those guys that you can recall that stood out, or that you can, say, hey, some of these guys got potential, whether it be, mid-round or second round or first round even?
Yeah, well, the guys that were down there, the Latu kid from UCLA is a really good. He's a nuanced pass rusher. Is not an overwhelming physical guy, but a very nuanced pass rusher down there. Jared Verse from Florida State. There's another guy that I tell you, the guy that really showed up down there that really helped his draft stock, or at least had people going to go back and take another look, was Darius Robinson from Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Robinson stood out down there. Chris Braswell from Alabama is another guy that as you talk about edge players now. Adisa Isaac from Penn State was another guy that was down there. So yes, there were some guys down there. Now your top guys, Dallas Turner wasn't down there. Chop Robinson from Penn State, wasn't down there. But those guys that I just mentioned, they showed up down there because the offensive tackle group that was down there, this is a deep offensive tackle group in this draft. This draft is different because your middle rounds of this draft are very much different because a lot of those numbers have been taken away because of NIL. Guys are going back to school for the money, and I don't blame them. But because this is the last of the COVID year extending into this year and the NIL guys going back, you're going to find the middle of the rounds. Talk to Nagy about it down there. The middle round guys now, that pool has shrunk just because of what's going on now in collegiate football. So the guys that were down there, really got some good work and got a good look against a good offensive tackle group. The group so far in this draft, in my humble opinion, that have got players, more numbers-wise, the offensive tackles, and there's some guards and centers, but the cornerbacks and the wide receivers are pretty deep groups.
There you have it. Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack.
Hey, Coach, before we let you go, lots of talk about the decision in overtime by the 49ers taking the ball instead of kicking off because it's not quite like the college overtime, but both teams have a chance to possess the ball and both teams have a chance to score. How much of a discussion do you think that will be going forward for teams in the postseason about maybe let's don't take the ball, let the other guys have it first and just see what they do?
Well, teams have already discussed that.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Reid, those players came out and said, we talked about this, before the season started when
sure.
What the new rules are. And look, it boils down to this. Do you want to give Patrick Mahomes, if you score first, do you want to give him 4 downs or 3 downs? That's basically it. So you make the argument that, well, if you'd like to get it I'd like to get that extra shot at that third chance if we're tied up after 2. You got no guarantee you're going to get that shot.
Right.
We just saw it come to fruition, right?
Yep.
So if I have a choice whether with a drive, I'm going to give Patrick Mahomes 4 downs or 3 downs. I'm choosing 3 downs every time.
Well, before we let you go, we got a quick Super Bowl questions that we had during the week. We had some little fun. Let's first start with there's only 2 questions here. What's your favorite Super Bowl party food? Naturally mine was wings, so I won the food off.
At the party?
At the party.
At the party?
Uh-huh.
Ribs.
Ooh.
Ribs. Number 1.
That's
ribs.
A Texan talking right there, man.
Yeah, that was number 2 on my list there. We did
have the ribs, and I don't care how messy they are. If you don't like me messy eating the rib at the party, don't come.
Oh, okay. Well, just make sure you tell Buck don't come to your party, okay? Just make sure, because he don't want to get messy. He want to get messy. All right, and number 2, this is the last one. I know you got the 85 Bears, but outside of them, what are some your Super Bowl memorable moments or games that you kind of recall off the top of your head?
Well, the first one is the biggest one that sticks with me is the first one I ever went to. When I was still a graduate assistant at TCU, had just gotten through playing, and the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings played in Rice Stadium in Houston.
Oh, wow.
1974.
Oh, wow.
I thought I'd died and gone to heaven.
Oh, wow.
You know what? If I think about that a minute.
Wow.
Game started at about 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And it was played in Rice Stadium in Houston. Larry Zonka was the MVP. I think Larry Zonka brought the trophy up for the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
This last weekend. Larry Zonka won the MVP of that game at like 153 yards rushing. Never forget it.
That's number 1. Give us one. You got one more?
One more Super Bowl?
Yeah, that you recall that
the
stands
one,
out.
the one Montana beat the Bengals with the last.
Oh,
with
gotcha.
Last
The
drive.
last drive. Okay, yeah, that was
The last
exciting.
drive, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could see Sam Weiss on the sideline just sitting there, looked kind of like the 49ers sitting on that bench watching Mahomes go down the field.
Yeah.
You didn't want it to happen, but you could feel it coming.
Yeah.
That's that deadpan face. You're like, uh-oh.
That's
this
that
is over.
deadpan face.
You
right.
just like, man.
The great Sam Weiss saying, it's coming. He saw it coming the whole way.
It. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. Great catching up with you. We got to start getting on some draft prospects coming up soon. Looking forward to that, too.
I got a bunch of them in my notebook, guys. See ya.
Man,
Ready
I
to
can't
rock and
wait to
roll.
crack into that notebook with Coach Mack. We'll do that coming up. All right, Coach Mack, done for the day. How many people watch the Super Bowl? Basically everybody. We'll get into that. Also, Big Titans Day tomorrow that we'll be covering on the Zone. We'll tell you about that. And Jason from Franklin has I think he just missed the Coach Mack. He was going to talk about Dre Greenlaw. But got time to take some phone calls as well. 615-737-1045.
Achilles.
Yep. Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. So, Donzo the Gnome and F&M Bank said, not everybody watches Super Bowl. I'm speaking from experience. And his burner account also said the same thing. It's the same thing on two different lines here. He answered twice with a different name. Super Bowl is the most watched television show in TV history. Averaged 123.4 million.
Oh, I was going to guess 130.
Well, I mean, it's inexact science.
Oh,
I'm sure it was 130. Up 7% from last year. More than 200 people watched all or part of the game across all the networks. That's Nickelodeon and everything else. 120 million watched on CBS alone. That's the record for a single network. When this past season started, we talked about this. The NFL, during COVID, continuing to play their games. And then they realized we can play on Friday. We can play. They're going to play the second game of the season on Friday in Brazil this coming up year because they can. And we said they're about to break TV records everywhere. There's a writer's strike. There was nothing else even to watch. There's no original TV programming. There's some like Ghosts from England and like Yellowstone with the dirty words bleeped out. That's what they had to show. Football crushed it this year. The Super Bowl crushed it. 200 million people watched at least part of the game.
Then they're going to Spain next year.
Yep. Well, what has Blaine been telling y'all? 18 games?
Oh, yeah.
Just in the blink of an eye, that's going to happen. Now.
And then 20. 20. And I think they're going to be having another division out of the country. That's what they're doing. They're going to South America and then, I mean, man, they're going all over the place now. Dude, it's about to. Ooh.
I wonder if it's like, okay, here's what we could do. Take like an AFC South team, put them in Mexico, take an NFC South team, put them, wherever, take an AFC and NFC East team, put them in. I wonder if they try to maybe push in those directions. Or do they just take a whole division and say, we're going to put it in Europe?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then when that works, we'll take a whole nother division and put that in South America, maybe.
Or maybe they're already slowly developing their own divisions over there. Or they may go buy a minor league team and then have new GMs and coaches go over there. And then voila, new division.
Like the old World League.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, there's a bunch of people that played in that.
Oh man, that was a hit too.
The Frankfurt Galaxy.
Oh, I used to love those uniforms.
Oh, 100%. Amsterdam Admirals. I watched all that. You know me. I'm sick. I watched it all.
Just buy the UFL and just say we're going to move all those teams here.
Why not?
You just never. I mean, man, I just think the opportunity is there for the taking and the money, and that's what the NFL is all about. Everybody thinks it's not for long. It's for. We always going to be around forever.
Only Danzo and Lonzo they sound like twins. Lonzo also said, I didn't watch it. So that's only two people on earth that didn't watch the Super Bowl, and they just happened to listen to this program. Oh. But 200 million people watch. 100%, Blaine, taking the UFL and just say, here's what we're going to do. All y'all are going to move to Frankfurt, Amsterdam, London, and you'll play let them even play their league starting.
Yeah.
Like when the Super Bowl ends, they start, and they could just continue to play till the next football season. Football never stops.
Oh, my.
I would watch all of it. The UFL, European Football League. Just put an E in front of it like a ghost E.
You missed what I
European.
said. They buy the UFL, and then they make it over.
Yeah, mail it across. Yeah, export it. 100%.
Uh-huh. This is the part of the agreement. Well, we can do whatever we want with that agreement, but yeah, there you have it. And then maybe they'll keep all those Ball Staters and Arkansas State guys overseas.
Just think of all the international experience they get. Like, man, I toured, Italy today between games for the Milan
like
Panthers. Yes,
like basketball.
They get that experience. Ron could be a cultural ambassador for them.
Oh, wow.
Add that to his mini list of things.
Imagine if I got to do something like that.
Let's both go.
Oh, that'd be.
Let's take Jason from Franklin with us because he's got it. Hey, Jason, we're sorry we missed you at the end of the Coach Mack segment. What you got, man, before we take off?
Yeah, no problem. I just had two things. One with the Dre Greenlaw thing, Blaine and Mickey, man, look, that just blew my mind that this man just stepped on the field and collapsed. Like he was literally celebrating, hyping itself up to go back on the field. So, like, what are y'all going to have to do? Put these players in bubble wrap and just sit them down until they have to go out? I mean, it's crazy how you had that major injury just doing that. And then on another off-the-wall thing, I wanted to see if y'all remember when the Nashville Cats used to be here in Nashville.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that coming back, man. I used to go with my uncles and see that, but I couldn't remember why we lost them. That's the thing that I couldn't remember why they left. So I didn't know if y'all could hit on that. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, they were playing when you were playing. I mean,
Yeah,
it was simultaneous.
I've done coin tosses, and I used to go to those games. Yeah.
I
know
Aren't they
Coach
coming
Fisher's
back?
involved in
Yep, they're coming back.
with the Cats. Yeah.
Yep, that's coming back. The Arena League thrived for a long time, but teams just kind of came and went. Memphis had a team called the Pharaohs that played the Pyramid for a while, and teams just kind of came and went. There were only a handful of teams that were always in the Arena League. Then I think it eventually died, and now it's coming back. There was an AF2 even at one point. So, yeah, I think it was just more because at one point – NFL teams had arena teams. The Cowboys had one. They were the Desperados, and the Saints had one. They were the Voodoo.
Yeah, I remember the
And the Titans were tied to the Cats. So those were good times, man. The building used to rock. Tomorrow, here's what's going to happen. Brian Callahan, Nick Holtz, Denard Wilson, all talking to the media. So old Uncle Buck will have them, and they'll probably just roll right into the start of our show. So you want to hear from all the new Titans staffers. Tomorrow is the time to do it on the Zone. So listen to the Zone and never stop.
But in the meantime,
In between time, peace.